Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast. This is Chris with Bin Chickens, and I am super stoked to be speaking with the one, the only man, the myth, the legend, Professor Kliq is on the horn today. Professor Kliq, how are you doing?
I'm okay. That's that's the name on my driver's license. FYI, legal name. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty fucking good. It's
Yeah,
Friday. It's
we're
what's
we're
that?
Friday. It's real.
Yeah, beers are flowing. So I mean, this is my favorite part of my life is Friday evenings after you get off work. So
Oh yeah. Ooh, because the catharsis of like I don't really have to anything for the next 2 days.
yeah, it's the best feeling in the world. I feel like I'm actually living real life for these next 48 hours instead of this forced, servitude. So it's good
Yes,
times.
that is. This is capitalism. Our our free market economy is alive and
um, so I don't know. We're going to be talking about a host of topics, most music related, I'm sure. Um, so wanted to get a little background on you. Why don't you describe maybe, you know, what kind of music you make, your history, anything you want to say about your music history here.
well. I'm sure. Um, So my there was music in my family. My grandfather and my uncle were both jazz musicians. My uncle's still a jazz musician. I was around it all the time. I never actually listened to music like actively. I didn't start listening to music until I was like, oh hell, I was like 11 or 12, because otherwise it didn't really interest me. But what I was doing before then was tinkering around on like keyboards and stuff. So I had an interest in making music and like interacting with it, but I didn't understand like, I don't know. I liked the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack a lot. That was really about it. Which, by the way, if that's like the first album you get into, I feel like you're gonna be okay.
I would agree
Like
with
you're
that.
kind of like that's a good sign. Like if Chic and the Bee Gees, fucking Walter Murphy, are like, yeah, I dig this, then you're gonna turn out okay. Um, so uh, so yeah, I was fascinated with keyboards. I thought it was amazing that you could use one piece of equipment to make so many different kinds of sounds. I liked the technology aspect of it. And eventually, we got a home computer in my house. My mom got a home computer. It was a Dell Pentium 2, 433 megahertz, 128 megabytes of RAM, and a 12 gigabyte hard drive. My Apple Watch is more powerful than that.
Yeah.
Uh, FYI, so there's that. And I was making music on the computer. I got a copy of Acid Music 1.0, and started using loops and things and figured out how to record stuff into my computer, and it went on and on and on for years and years and years. And that was the thing I did. Eventually started listening to music and realized that there was a whole world of stuff out there, which was great, and kept doing it. Did it all through high school, all through college, got a degree in music, released a bunch of albums on the internet, through Creative Commons licenses. A lot of them were free as well, like free as in beer. Also, cheers. Um, and yeah, and I had a few opportunities to do some stuff like game soundtracks and a couple of documentary scores, and I made a lot of friends across the world in the process. I've been to London and obviously in Britain. I've been to Britain, Germany, and Iceland to visit friends that I've made through music, just over the internet and stuff being free or available to use for other creative endeavors. Uh, Really provided a lot of personally, awesome opportunities and experiences, and that's and I do, and yeah, and so I continue to fuck around on the computer, and I don't tour or play shows or anything. I just make music on the computer and upload it through DistroKid, and it's on Spotify, and then it's another 3 to 5 years until the next album, and that's it. That's the whole thing.
That's the whole kit and caboodle.
Yep, mostly caboodle. Oh, and then as far as like the kind of music, it is. I was told once that most of my stuff is what's called Balearic.
Oh, okay.
You know what that is? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a weird mix of electronic and boogie, or like disco. LCD sound system is thrown into that from time to time, or like liquid. And when you listen to it, I like LCD a lot. I also like liquid. And when I first heard them, or like anything off of TK Disco, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is what I'm pretty much always trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well that's what it is.
I read or I haven't finished it yet, but there's a book. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, and it is the history of the disc jockey, and so it takes you through the entire gamut of disc jockey's origins all the way up through the various evolutions of it and technological evolutions and and then like the musical genres. And Balearic is one of the ones that I knew like next to nothing about before I read that book, and it was pretty interesting. Its origins and kind of how it came to be. So
yeah, it's the way that I understand it, and the fact that you've actively read anything on it from any kind of authority probably means you know more about it than I do. But the way that I understand it is that it's got kind of a bohemian roots
yeah,
to it, but it's more or less a weird concoction of mid-tempo disco and boogie rhythms, but that's about it, like in terms of what that borrows from, and then the rest is like kind of up for grabs. It could be noisy synth, like synthesizer music. It could be just kind of regular rockier type stuff or psychedelic. It could kind of really be anything, any mixture of those things, but as long as it's got like that kind of mid-tempo boogie beat underneath it, it can kind of be anything. Is that, did I just pass that test? Did I describe it properly?
no, I think you did. I think you did a better job than I would have. It sounded, from what I was reading, it sounded like it was more or less, like you said, it's really up for grabs. A lot of the music that could be thrown in that category could be also listed under a number of whole other categories, but it's more the attitude um, of the DJ who's playing it, or the musician who's producing it. It's just like it's that bohemian, I think, was the perfect word to describe it. So it's kind of hard to like really encapsulate in a few words, but I think you did a really great job of describing what I think it is. And I could be wrong, but I think you nailed it.
Thanks, Dad. For what it's worth, I also think like there's a cliche of like whenever a musician is like or like anyone who like writes their own music, they'll be asked like, so describe what kind of music you make, and then inevitably, like, because you had to answer the question so many times, that everyone else has, but to be able to fall back on Balearic, I'd be like, yeah, it's Balearic, and then people nod, oh, okay, and then like we just described, like, oh, that could mean pretty much anything, which is great. Like that's such a nice response. It's kind of like if someone said, hey, we're gonna go to no, I'm proud of the following analogy. No, I think I'm doing a good job. Someone would be like, hey, we're gonna go to Barney's for breakfast. Oh, cool. What kind of food do they have? It's a buffet. Oh, so everything.
Yeah.
If everything, and then you'll just be disappointed when you find out they don't have what you thought everything was. Like that, but with music.
Yeah, no, I like it. Barney's is or Balearic is the Barney's of the music world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's that? Eat at
So,
Barney's.
is that the place in Canada? Or is that something else I'm thinking of?
Tim Hortons?
That's what I'm probably thinking of. What's Barney's? Is Barney's a department store? What kind of restaurant is Barney's?
No, I was just making it up. There might be I'm positive there's a restaurant called Barney's, and although
Oh,
it probably isn't a buffet, but I was just making it up.
oh, all melanoma heads coming. I'm Maisie Russell's wart.
Fuck melanoma.
Sorry.
Oh.
Whenever I reflect on our friendship and our interactions over the years, it inevitably returns to Uncle Buck. So
Uncle Buck is a staple. I will say, anybody who has seen Uncle Buck once, well, anyone who has seen Uncle Buck more than once has seen it more than 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, it either lands and you are obsessed with it, or you're like, I don't get why people like this movie. And I also don't attribute it to John Hughes fandom. I don't think people are like, Uncle Buck, what was a John Hughes film? Like, I don't think anyone's like that, because it's not really it's a John Hughes film, but it doesn't really feel like it. Kind of the same way that like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles wasn't either, but it obviously is.
Right.
Once you're like in, to me it was the way that people quote like The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
I want to be like, yeah, but dude, Uncle Buck was the proto Lebowski. You know what I mean? Like, Uncle Buck paved the way for a Jeffrey Lebowski. and then it becomes, and for a lot of people it becomes my oldest friend, Tom. One of the things we like to say to each other is like, we'll be on a long-winded story or making a point, and then we'll end it with, the stock market has had its best month since July. Take that, Karl Marx. Which is just a quote from a guy on TV.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah. My name is Marcy Dahlgren Frost. Plus, I get compliments on the hyphen. Sure you would. You're listening to I Don't Have to Go to Work Today, brought to you by Tires. For the best tires, see Shanice Kovalovsky. Anyway, all right, I'm done. Got it out of my system.
Oh my God, I love it. I want to drop two of my favorite lines, and every line in the movie is basically my favorite, but I especially like, wait till you see the toast. I couldn't even get it in the door. And I also like when he's having his tete-a-tete with Bug, and he's saying he's showing him his hatchet, and he's like, or he's talking about his hatchet, and he's like, why, I've been known to circumcise a gnat. Wait a minute, Bug, gnat? Is there a little similarity there? Oh, I think there is.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
The only other one you never get to drop this, but the part why the hell am I blanking on the teenage girl's name?
Tia,
thank you. When Tia's in the passenger seat, when he's dropping her off, and his car backfires, and she's hiding. She's trying to stay out of plain sight. And he looks over, and he like leans over and he goes, tying a shoe. Oh, oh.
That's a
All
good
right,
one too. Yeah,
I'm all done.
yeah. We could
It's
we
just
could
gonna be one big conversation about Uncle Buck.
um, I would like to the last comment on it that I'm going to make is that as you were describing it as yes, it is a John Hughes movie, but it's not a John Hughes movie. Since you threw out the analogy earlier of Barney's and Balearic, which turned out to be I was hoodwinked by that whole analogy because I thought Barney's was a real place. I was thinking of Tim Horton. Um, I would describe both Uncle Buck and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as like Wolverine. Like he is an X-Man, but he's not really like that's just like something he does like because he's bored. Like he's his own entity first and foremost before he's considered an X-Man. I don't know.
Yeah, he's technically a John Hughes film of a superhero, but at the end of the day, he's still just John Candy is Wolverine. Basically, I feel like that should be the takeaway.
I like it. I do like taking that away from that. Um, so okay, so are you? Where's your music at right now? Are you working on something? Did you release something recently? I know you did.
Why did you ask?
I know. Well, because I was excited because I was gonna do like a brief album review later. But so I'm just gonna just open with this. About 2 hours ago, I listened to your EP, the six. Is it 28 days in 2019? Is that what it's called?
Yes, yes, that's the name of it.
Yeah. So dude, I mean, I've obviously been a big fan of your productions over the years, and this one was really fucking good. I really liked this. Um, I'm gonna say,
Thank you.
yeah. Well, no, thank you. You made it. All I did was fucking press play on Spotify. But I think it was the fourth track, Quantum something.
Quantum Supremacy.
Quantum Supremacy. I'll tell you this, Mike, and I'm not exaggerating even in the fucking slightest. As I was like, bobbing my head and kind of fucking shuffling in my seat. And then I forget what part of the song made me think of it, but another like you bring another element of something in there, and I was just like, this is like Underworld. I got a very Underworld vibe from it,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like peak Underworld, like good Underworld.
yeah. No, that's not a coincidence. I had when I started working on it, I had been listening to a lot of I want to say lo-fi because that's not what but like just earlier electronic music when the palette was a bit more limited, and so like if you really know all of the equipment and you start to be like, oh, I know what that is. Like I know what they were using a Nord lead, or oh, that's a CP80 electric piano, or oh, that's an 808, that's a 909, oh, they're using a 727. Like you start to pick up on all these sounds, and Underworld was that they were doing that shit too, and so that's not surprising. Also, thank you for the comparison. I'm an Underworld fan myself.
Yeah, yeah. So I yeah, I just it was great, man. And I'm gonna listen to it again tomorrow because I was like, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I was like, I'm constantly blown away when I listen to your music. Like it's just fucking good. It's good every time out. I did want to ask you, maybe you can speak to this a little bit because you do have a bunch of your things on Spotify. Can you estimate maybe like because you don't have everything that you've done on Spotify?
Um, I don't. No, I don't. No, I do not. And that's not exactly deliberate. I just don't. I just feel like I have enough.
Okay.
I don't know how that came off. I just don't want to like. I just don't. The stuff I have up there now, I feel relatively well represented by, and then anything that's not up there, I just don't want like. It's not that I don't want. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You can find it. Like if you look at it this way, it'll make it more fun. Like if you're really curious to see if there's anything of mine out there that isn't on Spotify, if you Google it, you will find it quickly.
Sure, sure. But
Sure you
what if what if I want to listen? What if I want to listen to the song "I Can Still" on Spotify and I can't right now, and it upsets me?
Oh no, well because that was never like that's just a SoundCloud track. That was something I whipped together like in an evening and just put up
Well,
and was like, oh. And
well,
it didn't make it part. It was just messing around. Like not everything needs to, you know, it can just be there. And hey, and then how fun is that? That's like what a weird. It's just this weird thing that sits there and it never makes it on anything. I don't know. I kind of think it's fun that not everything I make needs to go on a thing to go get up on a whatever as part of an official thing. Like it can just you can find these little dust bunnies of things I've done, and it's fun for me because I forget. Like with the
yeah.
fact that you just mentioned that track, I was like, oh shit, that was like, yeah, I forgot about that. I
Well,
forgot.
I,
Yeah.
I I must say that is quite a dust bunny you've got out there, my friend.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It was a fun. That was fun. That was a fun one to make. I remember that. I was in college when I made that.
Well, whatever evening that was that you made it, that was quite an evening. I've always felt really fondly of that track.
Well, I feel like it. Thank you.
I was reading on Discogs earlier because I looked you up on Discogs, um, and I saw a comment from somebody like from 3 years ago, you know, talking about how much he loves your shit and not your fecal matter, but your music. And he said that I don't know if he asked or said he was hoping that maybe he could get something physical like vinyl. And I know that you had considered releasing Scientific Method 3 on vinyl. Um, have, have the years have gone by? Have you thought about going that venue? Vinyl's healthier than ever as far as a music medium, as far as sales and everything. But
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I continue to buy records myself. Even if I don't listen to them, there's a certain element of like it's like having a trophy to prove that that is one of your favorite albums. It's kind of the way I look at it. But honestly, I don't think I don't think it's very cost prohibitive. It's actually it's a real number one. It's a really expensive thing to do. And if you're gonna get anything pressed to vinyl, I feel like you should every step up to that point should be of the highest quality. Um, Particularly in that it's best. Like this is I'm not a firm believer in this, but it's best if you've got uh, actual like instrument recordings, like analog uh, microphones and acoustics and live actual things in time and space, rather than programming a computer to make a bunch of sounds. There's kind of a big difference, and no matter what, anything that comes out of a computer is always going to be lower fidelity than what a record can actually reproduce.
sure.
That said, these days, especially, computers can output higher quality audio than you can get on a CD, much higher, which is great. And therefore, there's a whole production process called dithering, where you start at a higher sample rate and then get down to the sample rate of the CD is 44,100 hertz, and it's a 16-bit depth, which is like dynamic range. With computers, you can now you can go way further than that. But the problem is that up to this point, all of my albums were made at like CD quality. So if I put them on vinyl, it's not better. It wouldn't sound better.
Right.
It would just sound like it would be more about like and I don't have whenever I either make or commission album artwork, I never do the whole thing like front and back and like all of the things that you would need in order to make a record purchase worthwhile. I don't do, and it's just because I don't care enough.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just I only do music up to the point that it's fun for me, and that's why I have a day job, and I prefer it that way. Like it's so I appreciate the sentiment that like from people that once in a great while someone will bring it up, and I'm just like, and it's because only once in a great while someone brings it up, and it's not you know yeah, maybe someday. There's an album I'm working on now that I've been working on for 5 years, almost 4 years.
wow.
Well, since Scientific Method 3.
Yeah,
That is, up to this point, at the highest quality I've ever made of anything. Because I have a faster computer and shit. So if I ever pressed anything to vinyl, it would be this next one. But I don't even know that I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
Vinyl is that's a very involved thing. That's really involved. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Does that
uh,
answer your
no,
question?
it does. It did answer it. I mean, you could have, TLDR. You could have just said "fuck off,"
No, yeah, that's not sentiment. I don't
No.
know. I'm not bothered by it.
Do you have a timeline on when this latest opus might be, or you're looking to maybe finish it or wrap it up or release it or whatever?
Last year.
Okay.
I was hoping to wrap it up last year, and we're well into this year. And I don't know. I've been saying like a month for the last year. So I can't say it's so close. It's really close. I want to say like, oh, yeah, a month. I would say mid-June. I would say mid-June of this year. So in a month, like a month and a couple weeks. It's super close.
Another birthday release, perhaps.
Perhaps that could be a thing. You were there for the last one.
I was.
That was Scientific Method 3, released on my 29th birthday.
Oh shit! Yeah. I don't know if you do this. I always just assume everybody is the same age as me. It's like the default setting. Um, and then whenever they tell me that they're a different age, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? But that makes sense.
Yeah, no. I feel the same way. What's actually even weirder for me? I think everybody is my height. And I'm not that tall. I'm 6'2", which is like, that's moderately tall.
You're talking to somebody who's 5'6.5", and I'll fight for that half, by the way.
But I don't like when I think of you. I'm not like like I just think like yeah, he's my height. Like when I look at you, I'm like hi, or like like I feel like I'm looking at you at eye level. That's how I feel with anybody. But anybody, even when except when they're taller than me, but that's relatively rare. I only notice when people are taller than me. But otherwise, I think everybody's my height. And then when I'll see a picture of me standing next to them or something, and I'll be like, holy fucking shit, what happened to them? Why are they like that? Why are they kneeling? No, they're a normal height. They're a normal size person.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so you said you still buy records now. What like how do you go to stores? Do you go to Discogs? What do you steal them from Amway stores? Like what do you do?
Only theft from Amway. I prefer to go to record stores, not because it's the thrill of the hunt for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, for the most part, all I'm ever doing is looking for albums I've heard a million times, but that I don't
Yeah.
have on vinyl.
Yeah.
Once in a very great while, I've actually only, I think, done this twice. I will buy vinyl on Discogs, and just because it's so like I'll be listening to an album that I like hadn't heard for a while, and it'll just hit me, be like, I wonder if this is on vinyl. I wonder what this goes for on vinyl, and I'll go and look on Discogs for like lunch or something, and inevitably find it and be like, oh shit, yeah, I'll buy it, and then and I'll get it from Germany, and it takes 6 weeks. But that's only happened twice. But otherwise, yeah, I definitely prefer to go to record stores. Out here in Portland, they're all over the place, and it's a fun experience. You get to, you know what I mean? Like you're thumbing through all the shit, and
Yeah.
you make a day out of it, and it's you get out, you go do the thing, and then if you have a good day of record shopping, you pick up some records. It's a nice day. It's a fun thing to do.
It is a fun thing to do. Um, do they have any like electronic specific or specializing in electronic stores out there or
No, not that I have found. If anything, I have found a couple of record stores that specialize in metal.
okay.
Um, but there's a record store down in downtown Portland called, I think it's called Everyday Music. Let me actually, since this is being recorded, let me confirm. It's either Everyday Music or Everyday Records. I think it's Everyday Music. Yeah, Everyday Music on West Burnside Street, downtown Portland. And it's a big, big record store. Like like it could have been. It looks like it could have been a Tower Records at one point,
Okay.
and then and then someone else bought the space and was like, well, I'll just put my own record store here. And they had. You ever go to a record store? You like find a record store, and it is like stressful because you straight up can't spend $1,000 on all the records that they have that you want to buy, and so start having the series of Sophie's Choices, and you're just like sweating and being like, oh, I think it's down between these two. Fuck. It was that. Like the first time I went to
Yeah.
Everyday Music, it was that experience. But otherwise, every record store just kind of has anything and everything, but they're all full of surprises. I will say
There are what?
they're full of surprises.
Oh, okay.
I have come to expect the unexpected from any record store that I go to, because invariably I'll be thumbing through something and then I'll be like, what, and then oh hell, what was something I got? I'm trying to think, what was something I got recently that I was like, no shit. I was at a place in Portland called Jackpot Records. It's on Hawthorne, and I found a Peanut Butter Wolf record
Oh, nice.
called Peanut Butter Breaks, and I'd never heard of it. I didn't know what the hell it was, and it had kind of a cool cover. I look in the back. It came out in '94.
Oh, wow.
The high top fades and the beats were mighty raw. Like '94 is like, if you find anything from '94, buy it. Just buy it. Sight unseen. It doesn't matter. It's from 1994. That was the peak. That was it. Like there was Hendrix from '68 to '72, and everything that happened from anybody over those 4 years was solid gold, and then nothing. And then there was not nothing, but not it pales in comparison. And then in 1994, that it was Nirvana and Red Hot Chili Peppers and fucking even like DJ Crush, and like there was a hip hop was really big. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, all of that shit. Everything was happening all at once, and there was some special moment where like I was like Peanut Butter Wolf, the word breaks, and 1994 sold, and I was like, what the hell is this? I got home, I put it on, and it's just a bunch of beats. It's just a bunch of instrumentals from Peanut Butter Wolf in the early
Yeah.
90s. And whatever you hope that sounds like is exactly what it sounds like. It's awesome. Peanut Butter Breaks by Peanut Butter Wolf. Check it out.
Check it out. So from 73 to 93, music was just a wasteland.
It was figuring itself out.
Just tumbleweeds, going across the musical landscape.
Yeah, it was dark. It was unsure of itself. There was like a weird, I don't know, and it's happened since. Which isn't to say that nothing good came out of the 80s, because absolutely it does. My favorite band of all time, Oingo Boingo, came from the 80s. So, and they actually broke up in 95. So, how about that?
Oh shit. They were shook from the quake of 94.
Well, I guess that was their cue. They were like, well, fellas,
They threw their hands up. Well, that's that.
Yeah, this is clearly not sustainable. Danny Elfman had developed tinnitus, which is true, by the way. Wear earplugs. Wear earplugs.
You know what 80s record I've heard of this artist, like I'd heard of her probably 1,000 times over the years. Like I've seen her name listed and whatever, and I just never checked her out. I never could tell you a song by her, never had any interest. Probably because of my inherent misogyny, but I finally heard a track from her like a month ago in the local dive bar that I frequent, and I was blown away. The bartender was playing songs on her phone, and this song came on, and I'm like, what is this? What is this fucking song? It was a Kate Bush song.
Oh, I was really hoping you were either going to say Screamin' Rachel or Bobby O, but no. All right, Kate Bush. Okay. Go on about your Kate Bush experience.
Well, it was the song was Running Up That Hill. Are you familiar?
I know a lot about music that people don't listen to, and know nothing about music that people listen to.
Okay, so
you're gonna have to clue me in.
You're gonna have to listen to this song. It's a really good fucking track from like '85, I think it came out. But yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this. I don't think I was going anywhere with it, but I just wanted to clue you in that like I now know this artist Kate Bush, who's been around for like literally 40 fucking years, but I just heard her for the first time and I'm like, this shit's great. But yeah, it's really good stuff.
And those little surprises. Oh yeah, when you have who is this? And then it's like the name of an artist. You're like, oh fucking really? Huh. Okay. Those are good. Those are good times. Are you familiar? It's somewhat similar. Are you familiar with an artist named Gary Glitter?
Who do you think you're talking to, Mike Els? Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? You think I don't know Rock and Roll Part 2? I picked that up in Australia 4 months ago.
So I didn't know that A was the name of it. I knew what the song was.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, and it was the Bulls, especially if you're from Chicago, you go to a Bulls game, Rock and Roll Part 2 is always coming. It's like you're getting popcorn, you're taking a shit. Well, not at the same time. You're getting popcorn or you're taking a shit. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it echoing somewhere, someplace. But I never actually bothered to ask what the hell the name of the song was. And randomly one day it got stuck in my head, which is to say I didn't hear it. I just woke up and that's what was playing in my head. And it bothered me a lot. And I ended up having to Google the context of it. And I was like, Gary Glitter? what the fuck? And I saw what he looked like, and I'm like, I would have expected not a white person uh, to have made that song. And then also found out he's got a rather sordid criminal past.
Yeah, he's
Did you
been
know?
up on some like child sexual assault, if I'm not mistaken. Like there's some fucked up things.
Oh, a myriad across several countries.
Oh, this guy gets
Yeah.
around.
Oh, yeah. It's fucked up. Anyway, you got to separate the art from the artist. Also, no, that's terrible. I think he's in prison, and rightfully so. But yeah, no, I know, I know what you mean. Where like you find out, oh, this is a person, and this is important. So have you then since like checked out more Kate Bush?
So I bought the album, the 1995 album that track was on. I found it a couple of weeks ago in a record store in Pilsen. Um, and I was like stoked because I'd looked for it like the previous day at like three other record stores and they didn't have it. And then I was like going to Discogs. I was like, well, do I buy it? No, I don't know. Not yet. It's not like a pressing matter. I can get it whenever. And then I went to Pinwheel Records in Pilsen and it was like it was right in the front of that particular row of records. Like, and I just ripped it out of there. Like, oh shit, here it is. It's right here. Okay, I'm walking out of here with this. So I listened to like the first side of it, because I kept listening to that song over and over. But that's all I've checked out. But I realized that there's an Oregon connection because that song was covered by the Chromatics.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize they were from Oregon.
Oh well, then I guess I know more about Oregon than you do, even though you live there.
Well, touche.
I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Checkmate on
the it's like when that kid in Searching for Bobby Fischer, the asshole kid, like realizes he's lost and he just pushes his king down. Um, did you see Searching for Bobby Fischer or no?
Now,
Well, then that early '90s forgettable movie reference is lost on you, and that's that's a shame.
well, I mean, generally speaking, though, you know that like that era, you're not abound. I just happen to have not seen the movie, but you could have if you threw a Weekend at Bernie's 1 or 2 reference at me, it would have landed hard.
um, but yeah, the Chromatics are an electronic act, as I'm sure you know. But what you didn't know is they're from Oregon. But so like I saw it on Spotify, like that they covered it, and they did it. I really like their cover too. Um, so I was thinking about purchasing one of their albums. But you said you've bought like two records on Discogs. What were those records? What were they like? They were so special, or you just knew that you'd never see them out in the wild? Like,
I just knew I'd never see them out in the wild. One was a record by a group, but also from the early 90s. I think it was 94, 94, 95. I think it was 95. I'm like sitting near the credenza full of all my records, but I'm not getting up.
yeah,
It's by a group called Fila Brasilia,
okay,
and they're known for like down tempo, like 90s down tempo trip hop kind of instrumental music called Maim That Tune, MAIM That Tune. It wasn't their first record. I think it was maybe their second, but for whatever reason, I can't remember how. I heard of Fila Brasilia because I had downloaded when I was in high school. I figured I had like just recently figured out what Ninja Tune Records was, and I had also found out that a group called Cold Cut they were the founders of the label Ninja Tune Records, which is still around, doing very well, which is awesome. And they had put out, so I was like gobbling up as much Cold Cut as I could find. And Ninja Tune, especially in the early years, was very big on compilations and very big on like mix albums. And it was always Ninja Tune artists on everything, which was great. Like that works. on me at the very least. And there was a Fila Brasilia track at the beginning of this cold cut mix CD called Stoned Chilled Groove. And the album artwork looks like something you'd find at like a store that sells dragon sticks or something, like,
Okay.
or like it's just like tie dye on it or whatever.
Yeah,
The first
yeah.
track on it was this track by Fila Brasilia, and I remember looking up when I was in high school. I was like, "What is this track? Who is this group?" I found the album, downloaded the album, really fell in love with the album, and then this was like I was like 16, and so this is like, you know, like 15 years later. I'm like, I wonder if I could get that on vinyl. And yeah, I got it. Fila Brasilia named that tune. It's not an incredibly remarkable album. It just means a lot to me because when I put it on, I'm like whisked, you know, back to
Yeah.
when yeah. And then the other one, oh hell,
Weird Al.
Running with Scissors. That's what it was. It was Running with Scissors. Yeah. Yep.
Gotta have it.
Means the world to me. Whisks me away. do you do what would you say is the ratio of your record purchases from in person at the store to Discogs or other whatever services?
Including theft from Amway, which I don't even think
Right.
they have records, but I just threw a name out there.
Yeah.
They're the Barneys of thrift stores. They're the Barneys of network marketing, which is the rebranding of MLM marketing, whatever the fuck that meant. I still buy the majority of what's that?
Doesn't go on.
I still buy the majority of my things at the various stores. But like I was just counting it up today. Discogs this year, I've purchased 17 records on Discogs in 2019 thus far.
Oh damn.
So
That's a good haul.
yeah, I mean, it gets really bad. Like sometimes it's like I'll order one like a couple days after I ordered the last one. I was trying to limit myself to like one a week, but then sometimes like at work I just get bored and like I hate my job, so I just want to go on Discogs and like look for some other random late '90s fucking single that I'm never gonna see out and about, so I'm just gonna buy it. Um, I'll give you a quick sampling of some of these 17 records that I've bought. You know the song Frank Sinatra by Miss Kitten and the Hacker?
Uh I no. I know the song Frank Sinatra by Cake, but is that a cover?
I don't know which one came first, the music or the misery. But yeah, it may have this this may be an electronic cover of it, but it's oh, if you haven't heard this song, Mike, you got to listen to the Miss Kitten and the Hacker song, Frank Sinatra. It's I'm not even going to spoil it for you by giving you any snippets. You just have to fucking listen to it.
All
Um,
right.
I also got Prodigy's first ever EP, the What Evil Lurks EP.
Oh, neat. Cool.
Yeah, I was really stoked about that. Then I got Too Much Booty in the Pants by Soundmaster T. Um, let's see, Work It to the Bone by LNR. And then I've got a bunch of Chemical Brothers vinyls in here. I got the Free Yourself single that got released several months ago. I got Electronic Battle Weapon 11, and I
Oh.
got Setting Sun, which I didn't realize I've had it on CD single since like '97. That was the first Chemical Brothers song I'd ever heard. And then I was looking through my collection. I was like, holy shit, I don't even have this on vinyl. So I just picked that up about a month ago. So
Oh, that's cool. Wasn't Setting Sun? Didn't that have Noel Gallagher on it? Was that Noel
it did.
Gallagher?
It did. I think he went by Noel Gallagher, but maybe he preferred Noel. I don't know.
Oh, I'm saying Noel as in like Yuletide. I want a Yuletide Gallagher, and so he's because I'm not talking to Liam. I'm not bringing
Why are
Liam.
you why are you misgendering Noel Gallagher?
Noel is a. I thought Noel was a androgynous name.
You thought it was a
Am
what?
I androgynous?
Oh,
Like not not associated with any particular gender or sex.
I know what androgynous means, motherfucker.
Oh, all right. The only reason I know what androgynous means is because of the garbage album, Androgyny. It came out at a time that a child would find out what androgyny was, and I'm just glad that was how I found out. It was from a garbage album. I was a big fan. I had a big crush on Shirley Manson.
Well, I think everyone with a pulse in that era definitely at the very least did a double take when they'd see her. So
She was she was something. She was special.
she is still something. She's still alive. You're speaking as she's passed on to the great beyond.
No, she's not. Yeah, no, she's around. She's doing the thing.
Um. So. Okay. So Chemical Brothers. I just want to know because their last album came out 4 weeks ago today.
Yes.
No Geography. I'm assuming you've heard it.
Yes.
What do you think? What are your thoughts, Mike?
I am a little worried you're going to be upset.
You son of a bitch! But go right ahead.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I think it's their best album they've ever done.
Oh, I totally thought you were going the other way with it. I thought you were going to say it was fucking garbage.
No. I think it's their best work. I think it's their best work. I listened to it. A while ago, I invested in some really nice Sennheiser headphones, like Bluetooth headphones. Really went all out. I'm in headphones all day for work. So it's kind of like buying a good mattress. The same idea. And I got to listen to No Geography from start to finish on a flight from Taipei to Tokyo,
Oh wow.
really early in the morning. And I just laid back and closed my eyes and listened to the whole thing, start to finish. It's a great time to listen to an album, by the way, because there are no interruptions. You're just
Yeah, that's true.
getting there. And it was like a 2-hour flight, so I was able to really, cover the whole thing. And I was absolutely blown away. There were so many very deliberate and obviously incredibly well executed elements of early house.
Yeah.
They dug up a lot of their roots in big beat. It's like this album brought back house, like old house and big beat and like big disco breaks, like big ones. Like the start of the album, it just blasts right out the door, and it tells a story. It's dynamic, and it really goes back to their roots. And I will say, for any Chemical Brothers album, whether I liked it or not, you always know it's them. You always know, and this one is no different. But everything about it, I think it's their best work to date.
Wow. Well, I'm happy to hear that you enjoy it so much because I've really been loving the shit out of it for a month now. What are your standout tracks? Do you have any particular tracks that you favor that you think, oh, they really fucking this is my favorite one? Or
Let me. I am not on. I'm not on track names anymore, but
or numbers.
So Bango.
Bango's great.
Bango's great. Sorry, hold on. Hold on.
Holding.
Oh, and We've Got to Try.
Okay.
With the big it's got the like kind of Kanye-esque, really rough sampling, and then it
Yeah.
comes in with a great big drop, and then a great big break with a fucking TB-303 bass riff. And it's just,
Yeah.
oh my God. I'm just shitting my pants a bunch. It was great. It's great. And they're favorites, but they're not like, there isn't a weak track on the album, in my opinion. It's like Chemical Brothers' Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
Every song on it is great, or every song on it sucks, and we don't know.
This is
But
the
it's not.
Barneys. This is the Barneys of Chemical Brothers albums.
Yeah, we don't know what we're going to be disappointed by.
Uh,
Unless yeah.
you know what I did want to say is like I said, Bango, I fucking jam the shit out of Bango often. No Geography, the one right after Bango, is that was the first time I listened to the album, which I listened to it from front to back when I was working from home one day. I had just gotten on vinyl, so I put it on. No Geography was the first track that it made me stand up from stop working and walk over to the record player to see like, okay, what is this fucking song called? Because this is calling to me. And it was from like 5 seconds in, 10 seconds into the track. It's like, this is my shit. Um, it felt like it was going to be an anthem. It was going to be like, I felt like it was going to be like Private Psychedelic Real, like level of just a fucking like end of night, just anthemic, epic, just destroyer of worlds. So I was actually a little disappointed. Like, and I mean, I know how arrogant that sounds. And I'm not criticizing them, because I still love the fucking track. But I really thought it was going to be like a fucking like 8 minute like fucking builder and just incredible track. And then it didn't go there. But I still love it. I don't know.
The whole thing, it's I love when any so Chemical Brothers to me is never disappointed. There are
I,
albums
I
I
agree.
like of theirs more than others, but I've never been like, yeah, I don't know. Like
Yeah,
I've never been like, no, I don't know about that. But with this one especially, it was. I love when you can tell that an artist or a band, when they put out an album, and you can hear the conversation they had when they started, when they were like, you know what? What if we made like and then they make that album.
yeah,
And it's just like, that there was like, that the whole album itself was an idea. And then every track was just some effort to satisfy that larger idea. I think that really shows in No Geography. Yeah, absolutely amazing record. I'm really glad they put it out this year. I'm really glad that it was really good.
yeah,
Like, I'm happy that it was so good. So
yeah. I did want to, and I think I tagged you in this early on Facebook. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a pub, or there's a music venue in England, called the Social, that was in danger of being like bought out by some sort of realtor or something. They were going to lose, like it was going to cease to be a music venue. And like the Chems played there in like the early 90s, Fatboy Slim. Like I went through the list today, like on the website, like just a who's who of like British fucking music groups of the last 25 years, like all cut their teeth at some point performing in this like really intimate music venue. Um, so part of their crowd, they've got like a crowdfunder thing to like save this place so that the owners can continue to run it as a music venue and pub. Um, and there's a contest that's going on right now where you can submit a DJ mix. Um, you only have till May 23rd, but you've still got time, Mike. You could submit a DJ mix, and if you any genre of whatever, like whatever the fuck, obviously, whatever the fuck you want to play. Um, and then if it's selected as the winner, you get to DJ a set at Glastonbury Festival, um, this summer or whatever it is, in fucking like wherever it is in England. Well, it's in Glastonbury. Um, yeah, yeah. But like
Oh,
I thought that was really cool, and I thought I wanted I think I tagged you because I wanted you like I have the highest faith in the world on your musical knowledge, your DJing abilities. I've watched you perform countless times. So like I thought like this would be really fucking incredible if Mike fucking like submitted this fucking super eclectic mix that I know he's capable of, and like then he just like wins and gets to go fucking perform at Glastonbury. Like I don't know. Maybe this is the little pipe dream I had in my head at like 3 this afternoon when I saw the contest, but I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of it because you still got like 2 weeks, like 13 days.
I I would. Thanks for the heads up. Also, Facebook is a horrible place to find me. Uh, so, yeah. So there's that. Uh, yeah, and it's just so telling because it's like, yeah, that sounds fun. I hope whoever does that has a good time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
All right.
it's not cynicism. It's not cynicism. I promise you. It's just that yeah, like stuff like that. Like I don't have the ambition, but I'm fine. Yeah, no, it sounds fun. And it sounds fun.
You know what? You know what feeling I just had right now? The feeling I had right now was the feeling that Buck has when that guy in the bowling alley comes down and starts hitting on his teenage niece with a toothpick in his mouth.
You got a game going there, pal? Yeah. You're not gonna get any strikes sitting there now, are you? Beat it. I went as Pal for Halloween one year.
Oh, that was his name, pal.
Pal. That's why everyone calls me Pal.
Wait, you actually went as him for Halloween? Do you have fucking pictures of this?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, this was a few years ago. While we talk, I'm gonna fucking I can't believe you didn't. Oh man, you're the one person of like 3 people I know who who would have gotten the reference, and I can't believe what a travesty. I never showed you that. That is, I take personal responsibility for that. The year after, I went as Squeeze It Henderson, the main character from I don't know, a movie called The Forbidden Zone. Don't worry about it.
You're not gonna get many strikes sitting down there, are you?
Yeah. Come on. Where is it? Where is it? Gotta be it. I'm sending it to you. No, I'm like straight up interrupting. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. And I've got the toothpick and the black eye. All right, here we go. Emma put she did makeup to give me the black eye because he had a black eye,
Yeah.
And I found a bowling shirt. And...
Did anybody know who you were, like when you went out?
So here's the thing. When I pick out a Halloween costume, if it is an actual thing, like a character, I will pick something that's really, really obscure and then hope that one person gets it. And I went the whole night. We went to I think 2 Halloween parties. We were out for 5-6 hours. And at the end of the night, we're standing in a friend of Emma's house. It was 6 dudes lived there, and it was a mansion, but an old one, an old shitty Chicago mansion. And we're standing up in the attic, and there's a girl standing with maybe 2 or 3 friends. It was at the end of the night, the party's starting to quiet down. Nobody's yelling anymore except me, and this girl in an angel costume looks over uncomfortably, and she goes, "Are you Pal from Uncle Buck?" And I look at Emma, and she's like, "God damn it!" And I'm like, "Just one. All I needed, just the one." and that was a success, and it made it that one. No one else got it.
Yeah.
No one else got it except for that one girl, and she looked a little bothered by it, frankly. Like she was, and rightfully so, because the character is a total creep. Like he's a very problematic character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that aspect of it, but yeah, that's true.
yeah, he's a real creep. Yeah. Well, he's hitting on like I can't talk. My throat hurts. I got a cure for that. Like what the fuck? Yeah, that's fucked
I
up.
shouldn't
That
be
guy,
laughing,
yeah.
but yeah.
No wonder that. Yeah, no wonder he had a black eye. What a creep.
Get into your mouse and get the hell out of here.
You listen to me, you low lying poor fuck.
Sack of shit.
I'm a god.
God, I just want to watch that movie now. I'm just
It's I own it on iTunes, and so I can watch it on my handheld telephone whenever I want.
your handheld telephone.
That's what I call it, the handheld telephone. Another thing I like to call like everybody has like a now when you say TV you think TV now means a very different thing than it did 20 years ago, even 30 years ago, or
Yeah.
well even 10 years ago. How about that? And
Yeah.
but I still like calling it a television set. Like it's encased in mahogany and like a swiveling box and weighs 97 pounds.
It's got tubes up the ass.
Yeah, tons of tubes. It's way heavier in the front.
You got to be mindful of that when you're attempting to move it or transport it.
Oh, you go face down. You lift it face down. There's no. Yeah, you got to be honest. You got to be honest about what is going on with. Well, anyway, those days are all behind us. CRT TV has gone the way of the dodo. As they say.
And here I was thinking we weren't gonna work in a dodo reference before the.
I told you.
I took the under on that. I fucking just lost. I lost big time. The last thing I wanted to the last thing I wanted to bring up, Mike, was it's a little, and I saved this for the end because I forgot about it for most of the time here, but you have a record of mine that you never returned, and I'm a little upset about it, but I'm willing to move on as long as you just tell me what the name of that record is so I can repurchase it on Discogs.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yep. Now that you bring it up, hold on.
It's like a brownish orange record.
It's a whole dude. I can just send this to you back because it's actually 4 records. I'm holding it right now, and it's the reason. Hold on. Oh, dude, yeah.
It's got that Luke Slater track on there.
Well, it's got a Luke Slater track, but the one,
Isn't that
and
House of God on there?
House of God, DHS, House of God, but it's also got Silver Screen Shower Scene, the FC Kahuna
I didn't even know that was on there.
by Felix the House Cat. Yeah, big track. Yeah, I'm holding it right now, dude. I'll just send this to you. I got record boxes.
Well,
Don't ask how.
So did you ever get that Bonobo remix of that Henry Texier song Les Labas?
I know what it is. Yeah, it's great. It's a great track.
Well, because I picked that up, I think because I had seen it and you had told me about it, and you didn't. It was like a record store day release a couple years ago, and you didn't get it, so I picked it up. So I can send that to you and the Daft Punk Live '97 record as well.
Oh, that was a trade.
Yeah, we like swap. Like I was gonna you wanted me to listen to
trade.
Daft Punk, and then you were gonna listen to that record, and then you disappeared. You went underground. You went off the grid, and I just want to let you know that I'm aware of it.
All I did was move. Do I have anything else of yours? I think this is it. I'm sitting here in a chair holding it.
I'm pretty sure that's it. But I'll tell you
All
what,
right.
buddy. I will gladly send you the Daft Punk Live '97 and that Bonobo remix. I think you might have a Jethro Tull Aqualung record here too. I don't know if you got that back.
No, I have my copy of Aqualung. It was my mom's.
Oh, okay, okay.
I also have. It's funny you mentioned Jethro Tull. On my turntable right now is a Jethro Tull record called "Songs from the Wood." Whatever you think that sounds like is exactly what it sounds like. It is the most. It is the most whimsical Jethro Tull. I don't know, man. I hope it sounds good. This isn't. This is all positive reviews of Songs from the Wood.
Songs from the Wood.
It's dude. It's I don't know. If you've ever wanted to listen to something that was so like, yep, that's fucking Jethro Tull, all right. Like that's the album. Because even like War Child or Aqualung, it's like, oh, this is rock and shit. And then you listen to Songs from the Wood, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot, it's Jethro Tull. This is what Jethro Tull actually does. It's like it's almost children's like it's almost like children's music. Anyway, no, that is your Aqualung.
Okay.
That is your copy of Aqualung, my friend. Yeah.
All right. Well then this was productive after all. We have a verbal agreement to return the other's records.
Yeah. No, it's been years, but it's no the House of God. I remember you and I spoke emphatically about loving it, but also since you gave me this, Felix the House Cat Silver Screen Shower Scene, I realized I had finally heard that track on this record and was like, holy fucking shit. This
It's
is
so good.
a super dope track. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mike. I want to thank you for being on the podcast here. This
Hey,
is the
thank you for
longest. Well, yeah. This is the longest one that I've done so far. So, I think that's a testament to how much I admire your work, your musical je ne sais quoi. I don't know what that means, but I think it means if I'm using it correctly. So,
It doesn't
yeah.
sound wrong. Also, I just talk a lot, so I think it's mostly that.
But I think that's important for a podcast because that's what a podcast is talking. So,
I suppose. Yeah, were there a time and a place?
well, okay. Well, send me those records. I'll send you yours, and then we can just forget this whole 4-year nightmare ever happened.
Yeah, we'll put water under the bridge, like a bridge over troubled water. Go by it.
Oh well, thanks again, buddy, and we'll be talking at you at some point in the future, unless either of us dies. So,
Yeah, well, I'll let you know if that happens.
take care, buddy.
All right. Bye.